Today you are coming along with me on the journey to make over a thrifted bench, and I'm going to be sharing some really good techniques with you if you plan on doing any sort of wood furniture flips. Hi there, I'm Alli and welcome to my channel. Today we are transforming this bench, which is currently in its transformed state, but I'm going to take you along the process. I'm going to share with you how to restain wood without stripping, and I'm also going to show you how to sew a bench cushion to put on top. So let me start and show you with what this bench looked like prior. Here it is in the same spot, but what it looked like before, fluorescent orange. It is just not cute. It sticks out like a sore thumb and was in bad need of a makeover. Even the finish on the bench was a little bit scratched and a little damaged, so I thought this would make a perfect piece to transform. I do believe it probably went to a dining room set, and this is just the bench from it. Just to prep for the process, I gave the bench a little bit of a wipe down. I used glass cleaner, but probably soap and water would have been best. Now, safety first. With this project, I will be wearing a mask and safety glasses. I'm starting out by sanding the bench down using 80 grit coarse sandpaper. This is to get a really good sanding on this bench because it has a thick gloss coat of varnish on top, and I will say that the 80 grit did leave some sanding marks that will be a bit visible later on, but once all of the stain and stuff is complete, it is not noticeable. Once I was done with the 80 grit sandpaper, I moved down to a 220 grit and then sanded over the entire bench once again. You definitely need to clear off the varnish when doing this project, or at least for the most part, otherwise these stain processes won't stick. Once I was done sanding, I used a damp rag to clean off as much of the dust as possible. I did also try using a tack cloth, but I wasn't really a fan. I do feel like it left a little bit of a sticky residue behind, so using a damp cloth would definitely suffice. The first technique that I'm going to be trying is gel stain, and I picked up this can of gel stain by Minwax in the color Hickory because that fit in with the decor style I was going for. And also, when you're working with gel stain and you're not stripping the furniture or working with raw wood, you can only go darker. Otherwise, if you want to go lighter, you will have to strip the wood. But for the purpose of this, we are not going to be doing that. So let me take you through the gel stain process. Now, this gel stain is more of the texture of what looks like chocolate pudding. I can't describe it in any other way. And I used a foam brush to apply a thick layer of the stain onto the bench. And do not worry about going heavy-handed with this stuff. Unlike other types of paint or stain, you actually do want a pretty thick coat to go on, and then you want to leave it set for a couple of minutes to set up. I followed the instructions that were on the can and then wiped it off with a cloth in the direction of the wood grain. And as you can see, as I do this, the bench is already noticeably a new color. Now, this process is lengthy. According to the instructions on the can, you have to wait a full 24 hours before applying a second coat of gel stain, so that is exactly what I did. Okay, so it is day 2, or I guess day 3 if you count the day of sanding, but day 2 of staining. And at this point, I'm feeling a little bit worried. This is not turning out how I thought it would. It's definitely darker, but I'm just like afraid that maybe I didn't sand it right, or I'm not using the gel stain correctly. So today, I'm going to try adding the second coat, which second coat I think are always pretty lucky. But if that doesn't work, I do have a plan B, but fingers crossed that I don't have to go to that. For the second coat of stain, I did exactly what I did for the first coat, which was apply a thick layer, let it set on for a couple of minutes before wiping off. So after 2 coats were on, at this point, I wasn't feeling too good about this project because the gel stain just wasn't giving me that desired look. There were spots where that orange was still showing through. Overall, not what I wanted, though it did get me a step in the right direction. I think the gel stain would have a much better finish or work if you're starting with like a natural shade of brown, unlike what I had. But since the bench needed a poly coat anyway, a polyurethane coat, I decided to try out another product that is meant to do the same thing, and that is PolyShades by Minwax, and I'm using the color Mission Oak, and the steps are pretty similar to apply it, but I will explain that in the voiceover. To apply the PolyShades, you need a really good bristle brush that is meant for stains and varnishes. And I use that brush to drag on the PolyShades onto the top of the bench, following the direction of the wood grain. To make sure you get a very even coverage, you will need to tip off the surface, which is when you take the brush at a 45-degree angle and lightly drag it along the wood grain to smooth out any of the bubbles, any of the thick spots that may have appeared on the bench. This will just give you a perfectly even coat. After 6 hours, you can go back in and apply a second coat. I ended up not doing a second coat, mostly because I liked the finish that I had achieved with the first coat, though you could always go in with a clear polyurethane coat to seal it all in, and I do wish I would have done that. However, I didn't, so let me just show you what this finished restained bench looks like. Alright, so it's been a few months since I have last tackled this project. I really do want to put a cushion on top of it because this is in my entryway / living room area. So I figured I'd walk you through the process of making the cushion to complete this thrift flip transformation. The most important item you'll need for this project is the foam. Now I'm using an old foam mattress topper that was still in really great condition for my project. And my best advice when buying foam from the craft store is to wait until there's a very good coupon or a sale on it, because foam is very pricey. My piece of foam is 1.5 inches thick. I definitely would have preferred a 2-inch thick foam, but I thought if I double layered it and made it 3 inches, that would be way too much, so I just settled with the 1.5 inches. The first thing I did was trace the top of the bench onto the foam. I definitely should have just measured the top of the bench and then marked that out on the foam, but for whatever reason, this is the method that I chose. And then I just used some regular sharp scissors to cut out the foam. Now let's talk fabric, and I am so excited about this part. I picked out this fabric from Joann Fabrics actually yesterday. Finally found the one that's gonna make my vision come to life. It's a little bit modern farmhouse, a little bit boho, and I think kind of falls into that kind of transitional, kind of modern rustic trend we're seeing right now, and I love it. I love it so much. Right here I have 1.25 yards of fabric. That way I can make the top and bottom pieces as well as the sides. So let's get to cutting out the fabric. Okay, back to the tutorial. I used my tape measure to get the exact measurements of the foam that I cut to determine the size of my fabric pieces. With those measurements, I now am going to mark my fabric. Obviously, this will be a completely different measurement for you than it is for me, but my foam was 43.5 by 14 inches. I used my yardstick to mark out the fabric. I wanted this cushion to be as perfect as possible, so I made the markings at 1/2 inch, 14 inches, and 15 inches to designate exactly where my seam would be and allow for seam allowance. I'm giving this project 1/2 inch of seam allowance on all of the sides and all of the pieces, just because I do like to give myself a little extra working room. Next, I cut out the fabric along the 15-inch line that I marked. And since I am working with a striped material and I wanted this to look as professional or store-bought, I guess, as possible, I wanted to make one of the stripes align in the center of the cushion. So I found the stripe that would be the center and marked that center point onto the fabric. I took my yardstick from the center point and marked at 22.25 inches and 21.75 of an inch to create both that cut line and the seam allowance line, and I did this on both ends. Now, since this fabric is thick, I only cut out one piece at a time, so I just repeated those steps to cut out a bottom piece. Now for the sides of the cushion, I cut out 3 long strips of the fabric with the stripes following that same vertical direction that I am doing for the top and bottom of the cushion. And since my foam is 1.5 inches thick, I cut out the strips at 3 inches. And I also made sure to mark that seam allowance at the 1/2 inch and 2 inch mark. And with that third strip I cut out the 2 shorter side pieces to 15 inches, and this will be what all of the pieces you have look like. I'm going to start by sewing together the side pieces, so I took all of these pieces and pinned them at the ends so that the good sides were facing in, and I repeated that all the way around until all 4 pieces were pinned together to create an inside-out fabric rectangle. I then sewed up all of those ends on my machine. Now once the sides were sewed, I took them and pinned them to the top cushion piece. I made sure to line up the stripes because you do, if you have a pattern fabric, want to line it up as best as you can. And I also wanted to make sure that the good sides are both facing in again in this step, and then sewed all 4 sides together. I then repeated those steps again to sew the bottom piece onto the edges, and at this point you do also want to make sure to leave about a 10 to 12 inch opening in the cushion cover. That way you don't end up with a fully sewn cover that you cannot get the cushion into. Now to clean things up, I trimmed the corners of the cushion and then I inserted the foam, and I hand stitched off camera because if you know me, you know that I hate hand sewing. So I did this off camera so you didn't have to see the frustration to close up the opening. So I want to know in the comments, what do you think of this transformation? Would you have left the bench the color that it was before, or do you think that it got a well-deserved makeover? And now that I've had this bench in the space in this color for a couple of actual months because it took me so long to get to the sewing portion, I am so glad I did this transformation. And then adding the cushion on top a couple of weeks ago really made this bench into the exact piece that I needed here in my living room. If you enjoyed this video and want to see me make more bigger thrift flips or furniture flips like these, give this video a like. That really helps me to know if this is something that you guys are interested in. And if you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!